You guys just like you keep coming around. I just keep hearing about you guys.
You guys got some fantastic golf, so I might have to get a round or two in out there.
I love the game. I had a passion to play the game, not only football, but I love the game of golf and what it lends to a person.
Let's take this thing to the moon, make the drop well known, better than it's ever been before.
Merion is a place where I just love that golf course.
So listen, I'm a big New Jersey golf guy. You're very kind, Mike. It's a pleasure to be on just a couple of Jersey boys here talking about something we love. All the best. I really enjoyed it.
This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro. Welcome back, Drop Pod people. Yes, I told you a few weeks ago that we would get him on, and today he is on the podcast. The 2026 New Jersey Amateur Champion Barnes Blake stops by and recaps his entire week at Baltusrol. You know, we dive into where his round was before the tournament began, him throwing the meta glasses on before his round one, his start, which was rocky, 3 over through the first 6, but to finish at 12 under for the championship and be the back-to-back champion of the event. Just an unbelievable story from an unbelievable kid, an unbelievable golfer who will now compete up at Merion in the U.S. Amateurs. So again, one of those interviews that I just love talking to guys that just truly get it, and Barnes is one of them. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's interview with Barnes Blake. Think about your caddy on the course. Their job is to take decisions and stress off your shoulders so you can focus on the shot in front of you. For the Drop Podcast, that's where Thrive comes in, your trusted partner in technology outsourcing. Just like a great caddy, Thrive knows the course ahead. They lift the burden of IT off your shoulders so you can stay locked in on what matters most, running your business. The truth is, 1/3 of businesses will unknowingly hand over sensitive data to thieves this year. And when it happens, it's not just files at risk. It's your customers' trust, your bank accounts, even the very foundation of your company. The damage can be catastrophic, and you often won't realize it until the ransom demand is sitting in your inbox. That's why your business needs Thrive. At The Drop, we rely on their managed security services to proactively protect our network, monitor threats around the clock, and give us the confidence to focus on our work. Because when it comes to cybersecurity, it's not a matter of if, it's when. Get your no obligation security recommendations and consultation today at thrivenextgen.com/the drop. That's thrivenextgen.com/the drop. All right, so today's guest on the Drop Podcast is Barnes Blake, the 2026 New Jersey Amateur Champion who went wire to wire at Baltusrol to win by 7 shots and become the first player in 12 years to successfully defend his title. Barnes, thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Thank you so much for having me on again, Mike.
Listen, I think what you did, you know, at the State Am is beyond impressive. I know I quickly said it to you in the pre-show here, but I think being at your home golf course and being the defending champion, you know, a lot of expectations come with that. Before we even dive deep into round 1 through 4, where was your game at entering the week? Did you feel like it was in good shape? Did you feel like you had a very good opportunity to kind of repeat? Where were things at?
I felt like my game was in great shape. I had a nice break in between the Ike and the State Am to kind of work on whatever I needed to work on. Played pretty well at the Ike, just really didn't get anything to fall for me and just didn't make enough birdies. I think I made 4 birdies and an eagle, which is just not enough over 3 rounds to be competitive. So yeah, I was able to really work on what I needed to work on, and I felt like my game was in a really good spot going into Monday.
Well, that's always a positive. And then obviously being the defending champion, it brings different expectations, as well as it being at your home club in front of family and friends and fellow members. Like, how did you prevent that from you wanting to just do it in front of everybody to become, like, let's just say, a burden?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I felt like I mainly cared about doing it for myself. Like I felt like I put more expectations on myself to go and do it rather than people externally putting them on me. And I didn't want to let myself down. And I felt that kind of gave me a ton of confidence just winning last year, knowing my game's in a good spot, and then also being on a course, two courses that I couldn't be more comfortable on. It kind of just was like, you just need to go out and play your game and do it. And so that's kind of where my head was at going into the week.
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you know a golf course so well, it's like, all right, if I miss one a little bit here, I understand where to get up and down. Or if I have a putt here, I've played it and seen it enough times that I kind of have a better idea than maybe the vast majority, but I do think that does come with the pressure, and I think, you know, what I've learned over the years and having you on and talking to you is like, you are just, mild mannered. You just are, nothing seems to get to you. Is that also kind of the thought of like going into it? Hey, listen, I kind of know this so well. There really, at the end of the day, isn't as much pressure as many people may think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, would love people would be way more happy with me if I won and everything, and a lot more make the membership and all my friends and family proud. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was something that I wanted to do, and it's when I feel like when I kind of get comfortable with myself wanting to go do these things, it kind of takes a little bit of that pressure off. Or I wouldn't say it takes it off, it kind of changes it a little bit. And when that expectation is coming internally versus externally.
No, yeah, totally get it. And obviously I'm completely different. I'm an emotional roller coaster. You're you're just as mild mannered and low key as it comes. But I will say this, like getting to round one, the start of your day, obviously you start off 3 over through your first 6 holes. Now, I want to also preface, I thought, by the way, you wearing the meta glasses ahead of time, going through the things, your breakfast first. I listen, thought that was awesome. I did. I thought that was a unique thing. I thought that was fun. I laughed at it. I said, I love it. I want more of that. I thought that was really cool. So I do want to throw that out there. I don't know if that was you or New Jersey Golf. That was a really cool idea. Really cool
Yeah,
idea.
so at the Champions Dinner a couple weeks before, the New Jersey Golf media crew, they were like, "Can you wear meta glasses before you warm up?" And I was like, "Sure, of course." So yeah, they had me walk to registration, go get breakfast, hit a couple balls, and walk to the tee. So that was a pretty funny video they put together, and they said it was by far their most viewed reel ever. So it was
Yeah.
good to get that.
Love that. I love when the idea is let's kind of make things a little more fun, especially in one of the most, pressure like situations, especially for a guy like you, defending champ, home club, we named it all, but now you get to the first tee. Right now we put the first tee in the ball, and it's kind of like, all right, it's about to tip, and here we go. It's game 1 of a 4-game series for you. You go 3 over through your first 6 holes. Now, I understand the conditions were god awful. People were sending me pictures left and right. I saw what it was like out there, like unbelievable that, play was going on. But at that point, I know that you don't get, your roller coaster of emotions don't happen like mine. But like, is your blood boiling a little bit that you start 3 over through the first 6 holes? Like, are you feeling that internally? Like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't excited about the start, but um, yeah, I mean, I played the first 3 holes, played really nicely because one, normally a par five, they changed to a four. It's a really good par four. Two is a good hole. It can be tricky, especially with the green, the tough tee shot, and then tough green to hit into. Three is just a bear. So I made 3 really nice pars there. Four, just kind of a tough pin, not a great 3 putt there. And then same thing with 5 and 6. Like didn't really hit like a bad shot, just shots that could have been a little bit better that resulted in bogeys. And it's the hardest, I would say it's the hardest 6 hole stretch on the course. So I mean, yeah, I was definitely disappointed that I was 3 over through my first 6, but I felt like if there was a set of holes to be 3 over through, it would be those. And yeah, I mean, the back nine is definitely a little bit easier in my perspective, especially from the fives, not playing it all the way back. So I knew there would be some holes to kind of get a couple birdies back. I mean, personally, I didn't see 7 birdies coming in those last 12 holes, but yeah, I definitely knew there were some chances I would have coming in.
Let me ask you something as golfers. We all appreciate equipment that's purpose-built for the game. Nobody's showing up to a member guest with a set of generic clubs and expecting tour-level performance. So why do so many golf courses end up using the same materials designed for roads and parking lots? That's what I like about Kafka Granite. Their wax-coated aggregate wasn't created for highways or commercial developments and then repackaged for golf. It was developed specifically for golf courses and actually perfected at Erin Hills in the lead up to the 2017 United States Open. Golf is a part of their story, and that mindset still drives what they do today. They're not just supplying materials and moving on to the next project. They work with clubs to solve problems, improve the member experience, and create paths that stay clean, natural looking, and free of dust and mud that take away from the great round. Whether you're planning a renovation, improving walkability, or looking for a better long-term solution for your path network, Kafka Granite understands the unique needs of golf. Learn more at kafkagranite.com/golf and follow them on X at Kafka, FORGOLF. Yeah, I mean, you talk about 3 over through the first 6, right? Like, it's like, okay, like, all right, rocky start, but something I can live with. I don't know what transpires on the next 12 that you go 7 under. Like, to me, like, that is just like outrageous golfing, like that to me, I'm just like somebody of my, mental state. I just can't fathom the idea that all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to flick a switch, I'm going to turn the light on. And all of a sudden at one of the most prestigious, difficult golf courses that we have here in the state of New Jersey, that all of a sudden you're going 7 under. I don't care if it's your home course or not. Like, that's irrelevant to me. Like, what all of a sudden happens on 7's tee box that you're like, you know what? Okay, game on. I spotted you guys enough.
Yeah, so kind of funny enough, they have coolers of apples off the 6th green, and my caddy, he looks at me, he's like, Barnes, you're having an apple, and he goes and brings it over. And I have like a slight allergy to apples. Like, it makes my throat like not fully close up, but definitely start to itch a little bit. And he didn't know that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of allergic to them a little bit. And then I like take a bite out of it, and I'm like, I almost deserve an allergic reaction at this point. We need something to change. So yeah, like, definitely had a little discomfort in my throat playing the next 3 holes, but it ended up working. And I needed something to change, and it I don't know if it was the apple, but it definitely could have been.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. You know how many people are going to DM me now after a rough start? They're going to be like, Mike, I'm going to take this advice, and if I start off poorly, I'm going to go find an apple. And if Barnes can go 7 under through 12, maybe I can too, because to credit the apple's outrageous. Nonetheless, knowing that, hey, listen, I might have an allergic reaction while I'm out here.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if it was the apple or just the kind of banter between me and my caddy. It was like, why did you just eat that if you're allergic to them? But
Well, maybe
something
it took your
definitely
mind off
changed.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're a guy that has played, the lower course. You've played it many, many times. You probably can think about it in the back of your mind and just be like, all right, I know everything. I just can just name everything. Like, even a guy like you, when you start off as you did, do you really think that, hey, listen, a 66 is in play, knowing that we've kind of changed it to a par 70 from a par 72? Like, are those numbers even numbers you think about? Like, this is a possibility?
I mean,
That's a yes. I'm going to get
yeah,
that's a yeah. You do think it
yeah.
is, huh?
I mean, I wasn't thinking like realistically, all right, like, let's try to shoot 4 under now that we're 3 over.
Right.
It was just kind of more of those things where it's like, all right, like, let's just hit some good shots and see what happens. I mean, I would have been happy with getting it back to even or maybe 1 or 2 under. I mean, given those conditions, if you told me I'd shot even on the first tee, I would have been happy. So yeah, I don't know that I saw 66 in play, but yeah,
Yeah.
I just hit some good shots and
Hit some. That's an understatement. I mean, I hit a lot of good shots, I think, to do that, because, I just think it's mind blowing to think 3 over turns into 66. It's just incredible, which, after day one, I think what the field probably didn't want to see is see your name at the top of the leaderboard after round one, because obviously, not only being the defending champion, you know what it takes to win this event. You've done it before, you've proved it before. And now the added bonus of it being your home golf course and you being able to do what you did on that final 12, like, kind of was like, uh-oh, here we go. Is Barnes going to run away with this thing? And as, day one finishes, you're right there at the top. Day two starts. And I think the one nice thing about Baltusrol is it's got two different golf courses. And I think really two completely different golf courses in that matter. You know, Adjusting from the lower to the upper course day two, like, what was some of the adjustments that you might have thought about or that you made leading into that round?
Yeah, so like the upper, it's a little bit there's a lot more going on. I feel like the lowers typically it's much flatter. The greens are less severe. The upper is where you can play the slopes much more. So I mean, it can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like if you start hitting it in the wrong spots, you're gonna have a really tough time up there. But you can also use those slopes with if you have a couple good pins to kind of get pretty close to pins. So I wanted to take it pretty deep on the upper. I felt like the pins that day were not too difficult, so I felt like it was kind of a real chance to kind of get after it. But I mean, I played a solid round. I didn't do anything crazy. Definitely would have liked to go a little bit deeper, but yeah, as far as things I changed from the lower, it was just I think I was just a little bit extra careful as to where I was missing the ball because you can get away with missing in certain spots on the lower. You can't really do that on the upper. Like if you hit it to the right of the third green, that's just you're taking bogey and walking to the next hole. It's a bunch of shots like that where you just have to be a little bit extra careful on some of those.
Yeah, I definitely think, the upper, you're maybe thinking a little bit more about where you want to put the golf ball rather than so much kind of like just rip the driver and see and just kind of get up and down where it is. Because to your point, with the mountains being right there, that is kind of like the thought process with a lot of it. But to still go out there, make three birdies, make a bogey, still finish, shooting 70 again after 70, after 36 holes, you're like, all right, I'm in this spot. And I think again, I think some people may have thought like, all right, maybe if Barnes comes back a little bit, we'll have a chance to do it. But by you keeping your foot on the pedal and saying I'm not going to relinquish this at all, like you go to bed on Tuesday night, are you thinking like, all right, I am going to get this done tomorrow, come hell or high water, it's going to happen?
A little bit. Um, it was more of just one of those things. It's like we just have to find a way to go out and play some good golf tomorrow and let things happen. And I felt like if I went out and played good golf, I'm going to be very tough to beat. So that was kind of my thinking going into the day. It was just play 36 great golf holes, and hopefully at the end of the day, that's enough.
Yeah, and I mean, so the final day starts on Wednesday. The weather was ideal. I feel like that was like the perfect day to be outside playing golf. I don't care if you're in a state am or you're just at your local muni. Like it was a perfect day for golf. And looking at the scorecard, it kind of felt like it was, I wouldn't say roller coaster-ish, but birdie, bogey, nothing crazy until that last hole of the day on the lower course on your first 18 holes when you make eagle. Like, does that making eagle on that last hole there kind of like, like, all right, I'm here we go. Like, here we go.
Yeah, so actually so we started on 10. So that was my ninth hole of the day.
There,
So yeah, kind of what happened was like on 14 or on 15, I hit like a wedge that just kind of flew nowhere, and there's a huge false front there that came way back. Didn't get it up and in, unfortunately. Made bogey there. 16 hit it to the front edge, pin was all the way back. Tough three putt there, and then at that point I was tied with Bennett. And then on 17, hit it in the right rough, and the right rough there is some of the thickest on the course. Like literally had to take a 60 degree and hack it out. And I had 215 uphill to a front pin on 17, and my ball was in a divot. And so I think that shot was kind of the turning point because I ripped that 4 iron and to get it all the way up there and hit it to like 25 feet, nearly made the putt, but but it was a huge confidence swing because I stepped up on 18, ripped the ball right down the middle, had like 240 in, hit a 4 iron pin high, and ended up making like a 35 footer for eagle, which was huge because then I took a 2 shot lead going into the front nine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that, I mean, I that's just crazy when I hear about, 244 irons. Like I feel like I'm listening to like the PGA Tour when guys do things like that, not three woods, but nonetheless, I mean that making eagle there, that seems to be, kind of the difference maker in where things were to where things ended up because, even on the back nine, which ended up being your front, it was still rock solid. Two birdies, two bogeys, shot even par, which ended up giving you, 69, one under for the round going into that final round. Like, is there in a guy like me and I know others, you're kind of always in your head. You're always thinking about like maybe the positives. You're already thinking about the end result of holding the trophy, or the negatives are like, I better not miss a putt here or there, or hit it out of bounds. Because to your earlier point, like the upper does present a lot different challenges than the lower. Are there any thoughts going into that final round of like the end result being on my mind or the negative, or is that, or you're just able to just stay laser focused to it all?
I mean, yeah, I guess I thought a little bit about the end result, but I didn't really spend that much time thinking about it. I mean, I knew that there was still a job to be done. There were still 18 more difficult golf holes I needed to play well on. So I just kind of went out there and was like, I'm going to try to build as big of a lead as I can early on, and hopefully give myself a little bit of cushion kind of coming down the stretch. Um, and yeah, I mean that's kind of what did I end up doing pretty early on. Like the first hole, we both made nice birdies, and then kind of what I thought was the real turning point was what you saw on the second green when Bennett hit his shot to what 3 or 4 feet, and then I hit mine to like 18 feet. Mine was like straight down the hill, not much movement, but it could have gotten away from me pretty quickly, and I ended up making that, and then he ended up missing it, which I mean, unfortunately for him, those are kind of the putts that you need to make to win a golf tournament. And I think at that point it gave me a 5 shot lead. From there, with what was that, 16 holes to play, so I felt pretty good about my ability to kind of hold on to that and continue to hopefully grow it.
If you ever said, I just don't hit it like I used to, your swing may not be the problem. Your body might be. Many golfers lose distance, consistency, and enjoyment because of physical limitations like stiff hips, limited rotation, back pain, knee pain, or mobility restrictions that force compensations throughout the golf swing. At Back Nine Strength, Dr. Eric Acevedo takes a different approach. Instead of chasing symptoms, he helps golfers uncover the root cause of the aches, pains, and movement limitations affecting their game. Through golf-specific movement assessments, hands-on treatment, rehabilitation, and performance-focused care, golfers can improve the way their body moves, potentially unlocking distance, improving consistency, and helping them play golf more like they used to. If you're tired of feeling stiff after a round or wondering where your game went, follow the Golfing Cairo on Instagram and learn how your body may be the missing piece. Go follow them today. Yeah, when I saw you make that putt on two, and I videoed the whole thing, and I'm like, I kind of wanted to put on there, game set match, because I felt like once you made it and he missed it, I kind of was like, all right, it's inevitable. It's inevitable before this kid does it again, because that's the kind of the dream start you envision. Birdie, birdie. And unfortunately, like, listen, it happens, but your competitor misses a short one after he stiffs it in there. Like, that's kind of what I wanted to say, because that was, I felt like the gut punch that unfortunately Bennett got when he missed that. And, that just kind of like led to the entire front nine of you just being, what I just deemed rock solid. You throw in a birdie at 8, you finish 3 under on the front. It's like, you're just not going to catch him. And ultimately, as much of a run as Troy tried to give coming down the stretch, making eagles, like kind of just pushing and doing everything he possibly could, there was just no catching you. But I will say this, you're on 16's tee, right? And you're coming off a bogey on 15. Are we nervous at all with these final 3 holes? Now, I'm not going to talk about what you ended up doing right now, but going into 16, knowing that, like, hey, listen, Troy's trying to make a little bit of a push. He just had made eagle on 16, following a birdie on 15. Like, he's doing everything in his power to see if you can stumble down the stretch. Are there any thoughts on 16's tee for you?
Yeah, so well, on the
Like,
tee,
do
I
you even
didn't.
know that? Do you even know that?
I learned about it in the fairway. So I was playing with Bennett all day. He's just a really, really solid player, great competitor. And then, unfortunately for him, on 13, he kind of got a bad break and ended up making triple there. So I knew I had a pretty big lead over him, but I kind of had no idea what was going on with Troy on the tee. And then I hit a drive and then hit like a wedge to like 10 feet. And then my caddy Nick looks at me. He's like, Troy just went 2-2, and I'm like birdie hole out. He's like, yeah, he just made 2 here somehow. So I'm like, okay, like how big is my lead? He's like, oh, it's only 4 now. I'm like, all right. I mean, it's still a lead, but I thought it was much bigger than that. So, but yeah, it was. So I was like, all right, let's figure out how to see if we can make that a little bit bigger, to make it a little bit more comfortable coming down the stretch. But I mean, even if I didn't there, I felt like a 4-shot lead with 2 holes to go. I should be able to hold on to, hopefully, but yeah, definitely added for a little excitement there at the end.
Understatement. I'll tell you from my seat. Listen, I'm that guy refreshing my phone and I'm following along and I'm watching and I see him go birdie eagle and I'm like, and now he's going to the par 5. I'm like, oh my God, like
Hmm.
who knows what can happen here? Like he throws another crazy eagle in and now it's like we're gonna have ourselves a golf tournament and it's like, back to 2025 last year between the two of you
Yeah.
battling it out. Like I literally was thinking that. And then when I see you make birdie at 16, he makes par at 17 because, he was in front of you. I was like, okay, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's in the bag, but let's be real, it's in the bag. You finish birdie, birdie, birdie. And that 18th hole in front of the crowd that was there, in front of your entire family that was there, like, sometimes you have that putt and it's like, hey, listen, let's just get it close. Let's tap it in. Let's just move on. But are you thinking, hey, listen, we're going out in style here. We're making birdie, birdie, birdie to finish this thing.
Yeah, I mean, like like I said, I mean Troy was in a good position there, and I learned very well last year that he does really well under pressure. Like he made a unbelievable putt last year to force a playoff on 18 for birdie. So I mean, it was like anything can happen. Like he's definitely not out of it. But yeah, I mean, the birdie on 16 was really nice. The birdie on 17 was just, I hit the fairway, hit a 2-iron into the right bunker, and got made a really nice up and down there. And then on 18, it was a middle left pin, and if you hit it anywhere left of that pin, there's a big hill there that will feed it right down to it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna aim right at this thing, and maybe worst case, if I overdraw it a little bit, it's still gonna be pretty good. Which is, I ended up pulling it a little bit and knew the slope was there, so knew it was gonna end up well. I didn't think it was gonna be 3 feet, but yeah, I thought it was gonna be okay. And yeah, I kind of got up to the green. I was like, all right, like one more 3-footer. Let's make it.
It's crazy. And then you make the putt. And obviously your parents are there, your sister, your brother that were following along. Like, talk to me about what it meant to win this championship at home with all them kind of experiencing it beside you.
Yeah, it was just incredible. I mean, I wanted to win it so badly just because like ever since they announced it last year that it was going to be here. And yeah, just to have my family, all my friends, and the membership over at Baltusrol, there were so many people there. They were all over the moon, excited, and they all came out to support me. We had a huge crowd following, especially like those last 4 or 5 holes there, which it was really cool. And they had a great little reception with champagne afterwards. It was just an awesome experience just with everyone there, and I get to share the win with all of them.
Yeah, I felt like I was at like a PGA Tour event. Every time I'd hear, a shot go on, and clapping would be going on, like cheers would be going on. I'm like, all right, something's going on behind me as I
Yeah.
was walking around following people, which just makes it even more special of a day of an event, just being a part of that. Win or lose, it's just like, man, you can see why, Baltusrol, the membership, the entire group of people over there are just phenomenal. But I do have some other questions about like you winning and doing it, because obviously, like I said at the top, you're the first player to defend in 12 years, only the 14th to win wire to wire. Like, which part of the history side carries more weight to a guy like you?
I think probably the back to back. I feel like the wire to wire was tough, but I felt like I kind of got out to a big enough lead in the first round to the point where that kind of enabled me to do it. But yeah, I think the back to back is the toughest, just because you have to play that well 2 years in a row. Like your game has to be in really good shape because winning takes a little bit of luck as well. So getting lucky 2 years in a row and playing good golf to the point where if you get a little lucky, you win. I think that's definitely the tougher one, and that's the one that resonates with me a little bit more.
Yeah, and then the other one I have here is obviously the last time that this championship was at Baltusrol. Ryan McCormick, does something similar to what you did. You both shoot 12 under par, with the catch being he played both course at par 72. You played one at 72, at one at 70. And I did talk to some people. Well, they both were 12 under. It is what it is. I'm like, no, there's a major difference, in my opinion, in terms of what Barnes did compared to Ryan. Like, did you know at that point, like, did you know what he had done prior? Like, how much of a history, nerd are you like me that like, did you know Ryan was 12 under, but and both were 72s? Like, did you know any of that after the fact?
So I knew before we had the Champions Dinner a couple weeks before, and Ryan actually showed up for that. And we were talking about how the last champion at Baltusrol was him, and he was 12 under, and he pretty much just him and two other guys kind of ran away with it at everyone else. So I knew he was 12 under, and I knew he won, but I kind of forgot in the moment that was the winning score. So kind of when somebody mentioned it to me afterwards, I was like, oh, that's actually pretty funny. And yeah, I mean, it's great to kind of follow in Ryan's shoes. I played in the U.S. Open sectional qualifier at Woodmont last year when Ryan just lapped everyone. So it was pretty cool to follow in such a great player's shoes.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, when Jamie Pierce and I were on previewing the whole thing, we talked about a lot of different numbers. We talked about a lot of where people could finish, what the cut line could be, what the champion would ultimately shoot. I'll be dead honest with you, 12 under was never once echoed out of anybody's mouths, regardless of who was in the field, yourself included. So, I mean, that is just an unbelievable accomplishment. And to the earlier point, 3 over through your first six to finish 15 over in the final thing. It's just like a truly an unbelievable thing. And now, with the caveat of winning, in a few weeks, you will compete in the USAM at one of again, another historic golf course at Merion. I understand, I've read some quotes that you said you were disappointed with your performance last year. Like, what are you looking forward to most at Merion competing in this, and what could be and what are some of your expectations?
Yeah, so I mean, I just couldn't be more excited to have another chance at the USAM. Yeah, kind of after last year, I was very disappointed with how I played and felt like left kind of a lot to prove out there. And there's no better place to really see how good your game is than at the USAM, comparing it with the best. And yeah, I mean, the game feels pretty good. I feel like I should be able to give it a good run, and I would love to make match play and win a couple matches, which would ideally be my goal. And yeah, I mean, I hope to make it a long week there.
Now, listen, I know I'm the crazy guy on this podcast who thinks just outrageous things. And I feel like I have a lot of faith in us New Jersey people. Do you have the internal confidence that, hey, listen, Barnes Blake can win the US Amateur?
Yes.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love it. I know I'm the nerd from behind refreshing the thing. I will not be there, but I will be rooting like hell
Yeah.
to see Barnes Blake's name just continue to advance because
Yeah.
listen, I don't see everything that you guys do, but I feel like from afar, I am so in tuned into what is going on. And I think, I think more than your golf game itself, I think your maturity speaks for itself and your even keel that really nothing gets to you. And, you've proven that you can do it here at home. You've proven that you can beat a lot of unbelievable amateurs that we have here in New Jersey. I think, it's kind of like the Tiger Woods hello world moment. Like, get you on the big stage. You learned your lesson from last year. Now we're back in it. Like, why not you? Right? Like, why not Barnes Blake?
Yeah.
Let's get it
Exactly.
done. Let's get it
Yeah,
done.
for
Let's
sure.
get it done. Listen, I'll fire you up. Bring you an apple. I'll send you apples, whatever you need to
Yeah.
get going, buddy. I will make sure that we send you exactly what you need to get whatever happened from the 7th hole after day 1 on. We'll make it happen.
Appreciate it.
No doubt. So listen, I think what you did is unbelievable. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit you with 5 final rapid fire questions, and whatever comes to the tip of your tongue first, just let it out. There is no right or wrong answer. So you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Better championship test, the lower course at Baltusrol or the upper course?
Lower course.
What is the one pin at Baltusrol that should never be attacked?
Back right on 15. Upper.
Okay. Playing with the lead. Are you a scoreboard watcher or complete tunnel vision?
I like to know where I am.
That's my type of guy. That is my type of guy. I could not, I don't know how people don't know where they're at when they're playing because I would not want to come at the end of the day and know I lost by 1 and I needed 1. So I like hearing that. All right. Number 4, outside of Baltusrol, which New Jersey course should host the amateur next?
I'm gonna go with Echo Lake.
Wow. Okay. Listen, why not Echo Lake?
Yeah.
Listen, you talk about familiarity. There you go.
Yep.
we're just gonna rename the trophy after you at the end of the day if we keep going to these spots. And the last question I have here, number 5, 20 years from now, what will mean more, going back to back or doing it at home in front of your family?
Definitely doing it at home in front of my family and all the support I received from them, my friends, and all the membership at Baltusrol. It just made the win that much more special.
Yeah, no doubt. But listen, I can't thank you enough for coming on today's show, recapping the entire thing. And I think, it's just beginning for a guy like you in terms of breaking out onto the national scene. So more and more people will get to know who Barnes Blake is and what he can do. So best of luck at Merion. For a fact, I'll be following along.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me.
Best of luck. Talk soon, buddy.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, quick break here. I've got to talk about Dunning Golf because this is one of those brands that just makes sense once you wear it. Everything looks really premium, clean lines, great fit, but it's actually made to perform. The fabrics breathe, they move with you, and nothing feels stiff or restrictive when you're swinging. That's the part that really sold me. It looks like elevated golf style, but it plays like real performance gear. I'll wear it for a full round and then straight into the rest of the day. If that sounds like your kind of golf apparel, check out Dunning Golf and use code DROP20 for 20% off. That's Dunning Golf. Premium look, performance built in.